Last time. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to keep updated. Next time, we've had fun journeying through the West, but how about the East? Tune in next time to find out. Hey everyone, how's it going? And it's safe to say with that clumsy sign-off, several of you probably were able to figure out what the next review is. For those who didn't, well, strap in kids, cause today in Mythology Month, we're diving into Chinese mythology as we see how DC Comics gives their spin on one of China's most iconic figures in mythology, the Monkey King. First introduced in the 16th century Chinese novel Journey to the West by writer and poet Wu Chang'an, the Monkey King, or Sun Wukong, as he's also known as, began life the way all monkeys do, hatching from a rock. What, never seen Animal Planet? After his extraordinary birth, he would eventually go on an extraordinary journey to gain immortality, and he'd succeed 7 times. First training with a Taoist master who taught him the secrets of immortality, then went to the underworld to remove his name from the Book of Mortals, ate 2 separate fruits of immortality, stole some of the gods' wine which made him incredibly drunk and immortal once more, stole an alchemist's pills of immortality, and went to a furnace that burned away his mortality, leaving nothing but immortality. In game terms, he maxed out his health and defense. Sun Wukong also caused a lot of trouble by getting into fights with gods, demons, and other forms of spirits, and constantly trying to prove himself to be the best, even calling himself the great sage equal to heaven. Even trying to overthrow the Jade Emperor, the ruler of heaven, only to be defeated and trapped by the Buddha for 500 years. Once freed, he is tasked to assist the Buddhist monk named Tangzang, though for most of the tale goes by Tripitaka, to bring some sacred scrolls to India to help bring enlightenment. On the way, they are joined by a shape-shifting pig demon named Pigsy, a dragon that takes the form of Tripitaka's horse, and a water spirit named Sandy, facing a series of foes and obstacles, like mighty dragons, fire mountains, and demons all around who want to eat Tripitaka. I can go on, but we're not here to talk about the Monkey King, we're here to talk about his son, the Monkey Prince. First introduced in 2021's DC Festival of Heroes, the Asian superhero celebration, the Monkey Prince was created by comic book writer Jean Luen Yang, whom many would know for the New York Times bestseller American-Born Chinese and award-winning Superman Smashes the Klan comic. The character was conceived after a meeting with DC editor Jessica Chen to bring in more Asian representation in comics, along with artist Bernard Chang, shared about how, when they were kids, they'd be told stories of the Monkey King. Yang settled on the Monkey Prince as he wanted to both differentiate the comic from past iterations and to play with the concept of a rebellious teenager learning he had the power to be the ultimate rule breaker, while also introducing new readers to the Monkey King and Asian mythology as a whole. How'd that turn out? Well, let's dive into the Monkey Prince issue 1 through 4 and find out. And yes, I'll only be covering the first arc of volume 1, as though it contained the first 6 issues, it only has half the story, with volume 1 ending in the middle of a big story, and though I have all 12 issues, some of those issues are tie-ins to DC events that were going on at the time, and for now, I just want to focus on the character's introduction. Warning, spoilers. Our story begins with our main character, Marcus' son, witnessing Batman break into his house to interrogate his parents. Why? Because it turns out that Marcus' parents are freelance henchmen for supervillains, starting out as both a running joke and excuse for Marcus to travel around and meet other DC heroes, in this case Batman, but does play a bigger role later. Honestly, it's a pretty neat concept, though how it's executed is, well, not great. Batman notices Marcus and, feeling guilty, decides to leave, but warns his parents. Unfortunately, the damage is done, as this would actually traumatize Marcus, giving him a fear and dislike of superheroes. A fear that would follow him through his teens as we jump to, well, I want to say present day, but given the characters who show up in this story, it's safe to say this takes place during the beginning of DC Rebirth. Marcus moves around different cities, unaware of what his parents are doing, only to return to Gotham, where his anxiety skyrockets, leading him to getting bullied by the local kids. He gets some helpful words from the janitor, Mr. Zhu, who offers to help him after school. Stranger danger? Marcus's parents are currently under the employment of the Penguin, who plan to release a golden demon and sick him on his former investment advisor, so he will turn him into gold. On one hand, it is interesting to see Penguin actually acknowledge the supernatural side and to try to use it for his own benefit. It's definitely a fun spin on the usual routine. But why the hell would he do this? I know he said his advisor screwed him over, but what made him think that he can control a literal demon, what seems to be a laser gun? I know it's comics, but come on, dude. Anyway, the demon gets freed, and big shock, it possesses Penguin. Meanwhile, Mr. Zoo tries to help Marcus conquer his fear by having him jump into the school pool, saying it would help him. But Marcus refuses, because Jadder asking you to jump into a pool is pretty freaking weird. Though it gets weirder as he grows a literal tail, and after getting beaten up by the bullies, it finally motivates him to muster up the courage and jump into the pool, which actually gives him a vision where he learns that he is actually the son of the Monkey King. Mr. Zoo reveals himself as Pigsy and bestows him a crown and gives him the title of Monkey Prince. He gets his revenge on the bullies, but is stopped by Batman and Robin, Damian Wayne to be precise. And they're here because he's Batman. The two fight where Monkey learns that he's actually able to separate himself from his body and live, at least as he's in monkey form. With the help of Pigsy, he's able to get away. Elsewhere, we learn that the golden demon possessing Penguin is actually the Golden Horned King, one of the demons Sun Wukong and the others face in the original Journey to the West, who along with his brother, the Silver Horned King, try to eat Tripitaka. He's contacted by a mysterious cloaked figure who reveals that he manipulated Penguin into freeing the demon and convincing them to satisfy its now unbearable hunger by eating Batman. How did this mysterious figure do it? Yeah, no clue, but things are getting interesting, as Damien is now posing as a student trying to find Monkey Prince. How does that go? Will Monkey be able to get over his fear of heroes? How will Marcus's parents survive the Golden Horned Penguin? Who is the mysterious demon orchestrating all this? And how did the son of the Monkey Prince get taken in by freelance henchmen? Well, you gotta read to find out. Well, for the first three. The last two, well, those are stories for another time. This comic is okay, not great, but okay. As some of you might recall, I actually talked about this series pretty briefly in my top 5 most disappointing comics of 2022, in my honorable mentions. Had a pretty weak opening, but as the first storyline progressed, it got better. And after 7 months, my opinion hasn't changed. The first 2 issues are kind of a slog, and as you can tell, the beginning of Marcus' story kinda goes the same beat as a lot of young heroes, which isn't a bad thing, but you need to shake something up to make it interesting, which they only really do in the second half, as we really get to dive in more into Chinese mythology. We learn about how the demons work in their world, the powers that Marcus gains from being the Monkey Prince, and the mystery around his father and how he came to be. Moving on to characters, we first start with our title character, Marcus' son, aka the Monkey Prince. He starts off as a timid kid who wants to be bold, but lets his fears get in his way. But much like other young heroes, once he gains his powers, he gets a major confidence boost. He even acts like his father. He's more cocky, quick to anger, and really loves payback, but still cares for his parents to the point where he will throw away his pride to save them. He doesn't see himself as a hero, well, yet, as his fear and dislike of heroes makes it impossible for him to actually see himself in that light. Though, by the end of the story, we do see that change as his true journey begins. Next up, we got Pigsy, who in the original tale was actually a womanizing shapeshifter who Sun Wukong had to fight because he tricked a king to marry his daughter. Here he is Marcus's mentor and our guide to Chinese mythology, though he's not exactly the wise mentor as he struggles to get Marcus to understand his powers, and like Master Roshi and many mentors before him, is still a bit of a perv. Still, he's not a bad character, and his back and forth with Marcus is pretty hilarious. Next, we got our villain, the Golden Horned Penguin, who is honestly not as interesting as I hoped. He just kind of snarls and talks about how he's going to eat Batman. It's definitely disappointing when you know the source material, as in the original Journey of the West, the Golden Horned King was a very fascinating antagonist, as you learn him and his brother's origin and how far they would go to protect one another, as he raised an army to take down the heroes when they imprisoned his brother. But here, he's just a dragon. Man, 3 in a row. But yeah, he's definitely the weakest. Not the worst, but the weakest. Next, we got Damian Wayne, aka Robin. And I can kind of tell that Yang was a fan of Super Sons, as Damian is very much like he was in that series. He's still prideful and stubborn, but is also more willing to cut loose and have fun. You know, before that crappy Adam Glass Teen Titans run. It's definitely a fun interaction. Next, we got the supporting cast, like Batman, Marcus' parents, and his love interest, Kaya. They're fine, but they don't really get much development. Marcus' parents are just kind of meant to be the comic relief in the most part, but does hint that they are good people. They're just more focused on taking care of themselves and their son. Batman is mostly there to further the Golden Demon story, which is disappointing as I feel they could have done something more with him since he was the one that started Marcus's fear. As for Kaya, I'll be honest, I barely remembered the character. Like, I honestly forgot that she was a thing. So yeah, you can probably guess that when it comes to supporting cast, she's not the best. But everyone else, pretty solid. Bernard Chang was on art, and he did a pretty great job with most of the characters' designs, but I'd be lying that it took Monkey Prince's design to grow on me. I don't know why, I think it's just a bit too busy. Like, maybe lessen the gold, maybe add a little bit more red, I don't know. It's not bad, but it had to grow on me. He also tried to combine his style with a more anime sort of look, which is a bit off in a lot of scenes. However, when it comes to the action scenes, it really does pop. And when he does combine his style with a style more akin to classic Chinese artwork, it's really cool. So yeah, like the story, it's a bit half and half. On a whole, The Monkey Prince is a decent start, but is a bit bumpy as well. When it dives into the story that inspired it, it goes off, but when it tries to incorporate the greater DC universe, it fumbles. I do hope they do more with The Monkey Prince, but I can't say this first arc will get you hooked. But who knows? I still recommend to give it a look yourself. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for updates. Next time, we dive into my favorite mythology and call down the thunder. Later.